Hi, thank you for joining us today. My name is Frank Jimenez, and I'm with Cabinet Pro Software. Today we're going to be talking about panel optimization. But know that we have live demos every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on various aspects of Cabinet Pro. Now, Cabinet Pro Software, even though we're only going to be talking about optimization today, which is a very important part to talk about, just know that Cabinet Pro software, as one software package, is designed to take you from three-dimensional design to bidding, to cut list reports, to drawer reports, store reports, material reports, different exporting reports to different machines, such as razor gauge and things along those lines, as well as taking you from there to directly to panel optimization, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And from there, if you have a CNC router, Cabinet Pro will then take you all the way to the CNC code. Now, just as a quick statement having to do with CNC code, there's no need for another software package. We do not send DXF files, for example, to another software package. We did that a long time ago, but we have a lot more freedom if we just write the code directly. So we have about 5 or 6 different languages, G code being one of them, BSA code for BSA Works and BSolid, for Wiki, for different kinds of machines. So all of what I'm mentioning, all the different areas of where Cabinet Pro operates is in one program to learn, one program to utilize to run your entire shop. Now, during this presentation, most likely questions will come to your mind. You can ask those questions over on your right hand side here in this chat, and somebody will get back with you in that chat. Now, as we all know, this is not the best method of communication between us. The best method of communication is to actually talk to each other. So if you have questions that you want answers to, you can either write us an email, work on the chat that we were talking about a minute ago, or better yet, just give us a call. And we can also set up a personalized demonstration for you, which we call a test drive, where you can see exactly how the program will meet your needs. So without any further ado here, we will go ahead and I will share my screen with you and then go through some of the optimization capabilities that Cabinet Pro has. Okay, here we have the main opening screen of Cabinet Pro software. So what I'm going to do is go to our reports, and you'll notice we have a number of reports that we can go to after we have made a job. So obviously we already have a job in this software. So what we're going to do now is present the job for optimization and cutlass reports. So let's go right to our cutlass reports immediately. And the job that we have in there, I think we have about 20 to 30 cabinets in here. So in our cut list, I'm going to go to the category called CNC optimization and edge banding. Now, if I'm going to process CNC code, the program automatically sets your optimization to what we call CNC nesting. And that's where parts are just placed anywhere on the panel that can find space, including on what we refer to as remnants. Those are pieces, big pieces, relatively big pieces, that you have saved automatically, that the program has saved automatically in your inventory from previous jobs. So rather than throwing those scraps away, Cabinet Pro saves them to inventory and then brings them back automatically on the next route, on the next optimization. But we're not going to do CNC right now, so I'm going to uncheck that, and you'll notice the optimization level now goes to what we call classic optimization, non-CNC. So if we optimize this now, or excuse me, we're going to first go to our cutlass reports, Here's our cut list for panels. And I know I'm going through this quickly, but we only have about 15 minutes altogether. So if you get a personalized demo, this will go a lot slower. So now we're going to look at the optimization for panel saw or table saw. Here, you'll notice that the distance between the spacing between parts is equal to your kerf thickness on your saw. And it also, as an option, you can have the program print on the left-hand side the spacing for you to set your panel saw or table saw in order to cut. Full rips, notice these are all full rips. Well, that's just one big panel. Let me go to a different material. That's 1/4 inch pre-finished maple. Let's go to 5/8 pre-finished maple. We have a bunch more parts. Now, if we look at these parts, here's one where we have full rips and then cross cuts. Now, you can change it so that you have cross cuts first and then rips, but that's up to you. So now these labels that you see on the panel optimizer are customizable. This one happens to be giving the part name, the dimensions, and what cabinet number it is, and what room number it is. But there's quite a few different options that you can have at your disposal to label these however you want. So if I hit the OK button here, I'm going to go back to the opening screen. Now, what we're going to do is optimize it again, because we actually have 2 optimizers on this program. And I'm just going to select a few of these, not all of them. So cabinets 1 through 6 are being optimized or processed. So I can go to the cut list reports again, or if I want to use the same optimization level, I can just click optimization direct. But I am going to change the optimization this time for a different kind of optimization. So we're going to tell the program that we're going to process CNC code. Now, whether you have the CNC router or not, you still have this option. You can still optimize according to what you're about to see. So if I click the OK button now, instead of ripping first or cross-cutting first for this particular cut list, we are going to, again, generate the same cut list reports, and then we're going to go to a different optimizer. Now, this optimizer is very interesting because you can also use this optimizer for your panel saw, not just CNC, because you see we have 6 different degrees of optimization. The lower the degree, the more it is set up for a panel saw. The higher the degree, the more complicated the panel optimization, in that parts are rotated and mixed all over the place just to get them cut out. Now, since we are in CNC or CNC nesting maximum optimization, the program will automatically go to our tool library, and you'll notice the spacing between these parts is the spacing is not equal to an 1/8 inch kerf, for example, of a table saw. Though that spacing is the diameter of the tool that is going to be used for the cutout of these parts on the CNC router. And by the way, every single material can have a different tool cutting out the parts on that particular material, so it happens automatically. Once you set it up, you don't have to worry about it anymore. At any rate, you'll notice that the size of this is small. It's a 19 by 29 piece of 5/8 pre-finished maple. Why? Because this particular part, by that dimension, was automatically placed in the inventory during the last job where I used 5/8 pre-finished maple, because this was a scrap piece. Now it's being used. If we go into another panel, this panel is 31 by 42. So we can tell the program, use up the remnants first, and then use full sheets. Full sheets will be, in fact, the first 4 here are all remnants. These are all from previous jobs. Now, if you look on the left-hand side here, you'll see 49 by 97 because that's a full piece. Excuse me, a full panel. But notice we have a remnant that's already going to be cut out here and then stored for future jobs. And there's a lot of options as far as how you want to do that. Now, if you wanted to change the optimization, you can change the optimization here and then click this little button down here someplace where it says reoptimize. Now, since we have a lot of parts all over, sometimes if you have a smaller shop or a smaller space to work with, you want to get one cabinet out at a time. So you can cut all these parts out, and if you look at this button that says part locations, it will actually give you cabinet number 1, what the name of it is, all the various parts that belong to that cabinet, and what they are named, and what sheet they are on. So you can go directly to that sheet and pick up that particular part and assemble one cabinet at a time if you want. This cabinet number 3 has a lot more parts on it. It must be a base cabinet versus perhaps a wall unit. At any rate, the program will also let you know what parts are located on what panel. Now you have quite a bit of a setup to go to. If we were to look at this optimization, we can go to setup and parameters, and we're not going to go through all these parameters, but just know that we have about 40 parameters, I think, 37, I guess. And all these parameters allow you to customize how your sheets, plural, are going to be optimized. So there's an awful lot of control. Like I said, we're not going to go through this now because we only have a total of 15 minutes. So if we finish this, now we can also change the orientation because we have an actual origin, and you can define what that is. This right now, I've got it on the bottom left corner. And we have a visual origin, so you can change the visual origin as well. And I won't go into that too much. If you are already aware of what that means, fine. If not, if you give us a call, I'll be more than happy to explain it to you. If we go from this optimization to a different optimization, for example, we might want to go to level 2 optimization and then re-optimize. Now that whole thing has been re-optimized. Notice these remnants on the very bottom here you're being told which ones are in inventory and which ones are pending removal. The reason it says pending removal is because if I hit the cancel button, we don't want to remove those from inventory, so the program puts them right back. And if you say, okay, let's say we go to the CNC router, or we want to cut these out on a panel saw, well, not actually these, because if we go to the CNC router, then it'll take those out of inventory permanently. Now, because I chose levels 1, somewhere between levels 1 and 5, which is for a panel saw, it automatically switched from a tool for the CNC router to your saw curve that you set up in here. So if we looked at some of these, you'll notice that the spacing between the parts is much less than what you saw earlier. This is an eighth of an inch, I think, rather than whatever the diameter of the tool for the CNC router was cutting out. So this optimization is good for both CNC and non-CNC operations. You can also move parts. We have a remnant right here. We can move parts from one place to the other. We can rotate parts and then take this and put it somewhere else on the top left. Let's say we want to put it here, move it over a distance equal to either the kerf or the CNC tool. Well, it looks like we are running out of time. So I'm going to me and let you know that tomorrow we're going to be dealing with CNC. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll go from what we just covered today all the way to the CNC processing. You have a great day and hope to see you tomorrow.